What do you want, Marcus? Her voice comes out steadier than she feels. Iris, baby, I've been thinking, don't call me that. Listen, just listen. His voice carries that wheedling tone she remembers too well, the one he'd use when the credit cards got declined or the landlord came knocking. I made mistakes. We both know that. But what you're doing now? Shacking up with some rich weirdo in a castle? Come on, that's not you. Iris closes her eyes, gripping the balcony railing. The stone is cool beneath her palms, real and solid. This conversation is over. Cassidy misses you. Her heart stutters. You're using our daughter to manipulate me? That's low, even for you. I'm just saying she needs her mom. And I need... Look, things have been tight since you left. Really tight. I thought maybe that boyfriend of yours could help out. Guy lives in a literal castle. He can spare some cash, right? Goodbye, Marcus. Before we continue, please prove my mom wrong. She says I can't hit 1,000 subscribers. Okay, let's continue. Wait, please, just... His voice shifts, takes on an edge she's never heard before. Something desperate and mean. If you don't come back, if you don't at least send some money, I know people, Iris. People who owe me favors. One phone call and his precious castle burns to the ground. You think I won't do it? You think I'm playing? The line goes dead. Iris stands frozen, staring at her phone. Her chest feels tight, like someone's wrapped steel bands around her ribs and keeps twisting. This can't be happening. Not when she's finally found something good. Something that feels like safety. Trouble? She spins. Thorn Ashenblade leans against the doorframe, arms crossed over his bare chest. He's wearing only black silk pajama pants, his pale skin almost luminous in the moonlight. Dark hair falls across his forehead, and those impossible eyes, silver gray, ancient and knowing, fix on her with an intensity that still makes her breath catch. I didn't mean to wake you, she says. You didn't. He moves toward her with that preternatural grace, silent as shadow. Your heart rate changed. I felt it. Right? Vampire. She keeps forgetting the little details, like how he can sense her pulse from 3 rooms away. Thorn stops in front of her, reaching out to cup her face. His hand is cool, gentle. Who was on the phone? Marcus. The name tastes bitter. Something dangerous flickers across Thorn's expression, gone so quickly she might have imagined it. What did he want? Money? And when I said no? She swallows hard. He threatened to burn down the castle if I don't come back to him. Silence stretches between them. A night bird calls somewhere in the gardens below. Then Thorn starts laughing. It's not the reaction Iris expected. He throws his head back, genuine amusement lighting his features, and for a moment he looks almost boyish, despite being nearly 4 centuries old. I'm sorry, she says, stung. I know it sounds ridiculous. Ridiculous? Darling, it's magnificent. He pulls her close, still chuckling. The audacity of a mortal man threatening to burn down my castle. The castle that has stood through wars, plagues, and attempted sieges by actual armies. And he thinks what? A book of matches and petty revenge will do the job? Despite everything, Iris feels her lips twitch. He sounded serious. I'm sure he did. Thorn's expression sobers, though warmth still glimmers in his eyes. But you're worried, not about the castle. You know it's warded with protections that would make a mortal's head spin just contemplating them. You're worried about what he might do to you. To us. She nods, not trusting her voice. Then we'll handle it. He says it like it's simple, like Marcus is nothing more than a minor inconvenience. Together. I'm not letting anyone threaten what's mine. What's mine? The possessiveness in those words should probably bother her, should trigger all her independent woman instincts. Instead, it settles something anxious in her chest. For so long, she was the one protecting everyone else, working double shifts at the diner, managing Marcus's disasters, keeping the lights on. Now someone wants to protect her. What are you thinking? Thorn asks softly. That I'm not used to this. Having someone in my corner. Get used to it. He kisses her forehead, lingering. You're not alone anymore, Iris. Not ever again. She wants to believe him. God, she wants to believe him so badly it aches. Morning comes too quickly. Iris stands in front of the bathroom mirror, pulling her auburn hair into a ponytail and trying to look like she slept more than 2 hours. The face staring back at her looks older than 36, worry lines etched around green eyes, exhaustion painting shadows beneath them. Her phone buzzes. Another text from Marcus. Last chance. Wire $50,000 by Friday or start shopping for fire insurance. Her hands shake so badly she nearly drops the phone. Iris? Thorne's voice carries from the bedroom. The car is ready when you are. Right. Thursday. She has her shift at Luna's diner in town. Even though Thorne has offered a dozen times to support her financially, she's not ready to give up the job. It's hers, something she built on her own, and after losing everything in the divorce, she needs that independence. She finds Thorne in his study, dressed in a charcoal suit that probably costs more than her car used to be worth. He's on the phone, speaking in rapid French to someone about shipping contracts. The Ashenblade family doesn't just own the castle. They own half the commercial real estate in 3 states, plus international holdings Iris doesn't fully understand. He ends the call when he sees her. Ready? You don't have to drive me. I can take the bus like usual. Humor me. He offers his arm. That old-fashioned courtesy that should seem strange, but instead feels exactly right. Besides, I have business in town today. Board meeting at Ashenblade Holdings. They walk together through the castle's winding halls. Even after months, Iris still discovers new rooms, new secrets. Yesterday she found a library with floor-to-ceiling shelves containing books in languages she doesn't recognize, some bound in what looked disturbingly like human skin. The Mercedes purrs to life, and they glide down the mountain road toward town. Autumn has painted the forest in shades of amber and crimson. It's beautiful, almost painfully so. You're thinking about him, Thorne says quietly. How do you get a crease right here. He touches the spot between her eyebrows. When you're worried, and your breathing changes. I'm sorry. I know it's stupid to let him get to me. He's all talk, right? Just trying to scare me because I finally left. Thorne's jaw tightens. He put his hands on you, during the marriage. It's not a question. Iris had told him, one night after too much wine, about the shoving match that led to her filing for divorce. How Marcus had grabbed her wrist so hard it bruised, all because she'd suggested he look for work instead of day trading their savings into oblivion. Once, she says. Just that once. And then I left. Once is too many. There's something cold in Thorne's voice now, something that reminds her he's not human, that beneath the tailored suits and gentle touches lives something ancient and dangerous. Men like him are cowards. They prey on those they perceive as weak, then crumble the moment they face real consequences. He could really hurt you, though. The business, the castle. Iris. Thorne pulls the car over, right there on the mountain road. He turns to face her fully, taking both her hands in his. I have survived wars you've only read about in history books. I've watched empires rise and fall. Your ex-husband is a petty criminal with delusions of competence and a gambling addiction that has him owing money to some very unpleasant people. He cannot hurt me, but he can hurt you, and that I will not allow. How do you know about the gambling? A slight smile. I make it my business to know everything about anyone who might threaten someone I care for. Marcus Caldwell owes $47,000 to a loan shark named Dmitry Volkov. He's 3 months behind on payments. Volkov's men have been leaving increasingly unsubtle messages. Iris stares at him. You investigated my ex-husband? The moment you told me his name. Thorne's expression holds no apology. I protect what's mine, Iris. Always and completely. It's not negotiable. She should probably be upset about the invasion of privacy. Instead, she feels something warm unfurl in her chest. How long has it been since someone cared enough to protect her? Since someone saw her as worth protecting? What are you going to do? She asks. That depends on him, but first I'm going to make certain you're safe, and that means dealing with this situation before it escalates further. They drive the rest of the way in silence, Iris's mind spinning. Part of her, the part that survived a bad marriage and rebuilt her life from nothing, wants to handle this herself, to prove she doesn't need rescuing. But another part, the part that's been scared and alone for so long, wants nothing more than to let Thorn handle everything. The diner appears around a bend, Luna's, with its faded blue awning and crackling neon sign. Home, in a way the castle isn't quite yet. Thorn parks and walks her to the door. Call me if you need anything. If Marcus shows up, if anything feels wrong, you call me immediately. Understood? Yes. He kisses her, soft and sweet, before heading back to the car. Iris watches him drive away, then pushes through the diner door. Well, well, look who finally showed up. The voice makes her freeze. Marcus sits at the corner booth, coffee cup in front of him, looking exactly like he always did. Medium height, thinning brown hair, weak chin hidden behind 3 days of stubble. He wears jeans and a stained t-shirt, work boots that have never seen actual work. Her manager, Sylvie, gives Iris an apologetic look from behind the counter. He said he was waiting for you. I told him to leave, but it's fine. Iris forces her voice steady. Marcus, you need to go. Sit down, Iris, just for a minute, please. He gestures to the seat across from him. I drove 6 hours to see you. You threatened to burn down my home. I was upset. I didn't mean it. He has the audacity to look wounded. Come on, 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking. Against her better judgment, Iris slides into the booth. The vinyl is torn, spilling yellow foam. She's patched it twice, but the diner's budget only stretches so far. Marcus looks older too, harder around the edges. You look good, he says. Castle life agrees with you. What do you want? I told you, I need money, 50 grand. I don't have that kind of money. But he does, your boyfriend, the vampire. Iris goes very still. What did you just say? Marcus grins, showing tobacco-stained teeth. You think I'm stupid? I did my research. Thorn Ashenblade. Family goes back centuries. Never ages in any of the pictures. Only seen at night. Come on, Iris. I might be a lot of things, but I'm not an idiot. Her heart hammers against her ribs. You've been watching us. Making sure my daughter's mother isn't in danger. That's all. He leans forward. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to ask your bloodsucker boyfriend for the money. Tell him it's for a family emergency. He's so crazy about you. He'll hand it over without blinking. And if I don't? Then I start making calls. To the media. To those vampire hunter groups I found online. Hell, maybe I'll just post on Reddit. Vampire overlord living in Mountain Castle. Here's the address. Think about what happens then. All those people with stakes and holy water and God knows what else, descending on your little love nest. The diner suddenly feels too small, too hot. Iris can barely breathe. You wouldn't. Try me. Marcus finishes his coffee, slams the cup down. You've got until Friday. 50,000 or I burn your whole world down. And this time I mean it. He leaves a crumpled $5 bill on the table and walks out. Iris sits frozen in the booth, staring at nothing. Around her, the diner hums with normal life. Regulars ordering breakfast, Sylvie calling out orders. The espresso machine hissing. Everything exactly as it should be. Except her entire world just tilted on its axis. Her phone buzzes. A text from Marcus. TikTok. She makes it through her shift on autopilot. Smile, take orders, deliver food, refill coffee. Her hands move through familiar motions while her mind races in circles. $50,000. Vampire hunters. The media. Thorn would pay it, she knows. Without hesitation. But what happens after? Marcus will just come back for more. Blackmailers always do. And eventually someone will get hurt. By 4 o'clock, her feet ache and her head pounds. She's clearing table 7 when her phone rings. Unknown number. Hello? Ms. Caldwell? This is Detective Sarah Chen, Metro Police. I'm calling about your daughter, Cassidy. The world drops away. Is she okay? What happened? She's fine, physically. But we need you to come down to the station. There's been an incident involving your ex-husband. What kind of incident? It's better if we discuss this in person. How soon can you be here? Iris looks at Sylvie, who must see something in her face because she immediately nods. Go, I'll cover. The police station is a squat concrete building downtown. Detective Chen meets her at the front desk, a woman in her 40s with kind eyes and a no-nonsense expression. "Ms. Caldwell, thank you for coming so quickly." She leads Iris to a small office. "Please sit. Where's my daughter?" "With Child Protective Services, temporarily. Don't worry, she's safe. But we had to remove her from her father's custody this afternoon." "Why? What did he do?" Detective Chen pulls out a file. "Mr. Caldwell was arrested this morning. Multiple charges: extortion, harassment, threatening arson. We've been building a case against him for weeks." Iris's head spins. "Weeks? Someone provided us with evidence, phone records, text messages, financial documents showing his debts and attempts to extort money from various individuals." Chen slides a photo across the desk. "This person. Do you know him?" Iris stares at the picture. It shows a man in an expensive suit, silver hair, sharp features. She's never seen him before. "No, who is he?" "He says he's an attorney representing Thorn Ashenblade. He came to us 3 weeks ago with documentation of your ex-husband's activities, including threats made against you and Mr. Ashenblade. We've been monitoring Marcus since then." "I don't understand. Your boyfriend, Mr. Ashenblade, he was concerned for your safety. Rather than confront Marcus directly, he took legal channels. Smart move, in my opinion. Guys like your ex, they don't respond to intimidation. They need to face real consequences." Iris can barely process this. Thorn has been protecting her for weeks, planning, preparing, making sure Marcus couldn't hurt her. The threats he made about burning down the castle, all recorded, along with today's extortion attempt at the diner. We had an officer eating breakfast 3 booths away. Chen's expression softens. "You're not in any trouble, Ms. Caldwell, but your ex-husband is going away for a while, and we need to arrange custody of your daughter." "She can come home with me?" "After we do some paperwork, yes, but Ms. Caldwell," Chen hesitates. "Cassidy said something during her interview. About her father talking about vampires. About Mr. Ashenblade being dangerous. Has Marcus been spreading these stories to your daughter?" Iris's blood runs cold. He's been filling her head with nonsense, trying to scare her. "That's what we thought. CPS will want to arrange counseling, but she seems like a resilient kid. I think she'll be okay." An hour later, Iris walks out of the station with Cassidy's hand in hers. Her daughter, 11 years old, dark hair in braids, wearing the purple jacket Iris sent for her birthday, looks up with worried eyes. "Mom, are you mad at me?" "Mad?" "Baby, no. Why would I be mad?" "Dad said you'd be mad, that I should have stopped him from calling you, but I didn't know how." Iris stops walking, crouches down to her daughter's level right there on the sidewalk. "None of this is your fault. You understand me?" "Nothing your father did is on you." Cassidy's lower lip trembles. "Is he really going to jail?" "For a while, yes. Because of the vampire. Because of his own choices." Iris cups her daughter's face gently. "The man I'm seeing, Thorn, he's not a monster. He's not dangerous. Your father was wrong about that. But he lives in a castle. He does. A very big, very old castle. Would you like to see it?" Cassidy's eyes go wide. "Really? Does it have towers?" "4 of them. And a library that's bigger than your whole school. And," Iris smiles, remembering, "a cat named Nocturne who's about 100 years old and very grumpy." "Can I meet him? The cat, I mean. And the castle guy?" "His name is Thorn, and yes, you can meet him. But, honey, I need you to understand something." Iris takes a breath. "Thorn is different. He's special. And there are things about him that might seem strange at first. But he's good. He's kind. And he cares about me very much. About us. Can you give him a chance?" Cassidy chews her lip, thinking. "Does he have fangs?" Despite everything, Iris laughs. "Yes, very small ones." "Cool." The Mercedes is waiting when they emerge from the station. Thorn leans against it, arms crossed, looking like he stepped out of a magazine spread. Several passers-by do double takes. He straightens when he sees them, and Iris watches as his expression shifts, from concern for her to careful neutrality as he takes in Cassidy. "Hello," he says gently. "You must be Cassidy. I'm Thorn." Cassidy stares up at him, unblinking. My dad says you're a vampire. Thorn glances at Iris, who can only shrug helplessly. Your father says a lot of things, Thorn replies carefully. Not all of them true. But that part is true, isn't it? Silence stretches. Iris holds her breath. Finally, Thorn crouches down, bringing himself to Cassidy's eye level. Yes, he says quietly. That part is true. Does that frighten you? Kinda. But Mom says you're nice. And you helped stop Dad from being scary. Cassidy tilts her head, studying him. Do you drink blood? Cassidy, Iris gasps. It's all right. Thorn's lips twitch with amusement. Yes, I do. But not human blood, if that's what you're worried about. I get what I need from other sources. Medical suppliers, mostly. Very boring and clinical. Oh, Cassidy looks almost disappointed. Then, do you really live in a castle? I do. With towers? 4 of them. And a 100-year-old cat? Now Thorn does smile, and Iris's heart clenches at the sight. Technically, Nocturne is 93, but don't tell him I said that. He's sensitive about his age. Cassidy giggles. Just like that, the tension breaks. Thorn opens the car door, helping first Cassidy and then Iris inside. As they drive toward the mountain, Cassidy peppers him with questions about the castle, about vampires, about everything her 11-year-old mind can conjure. Thorn answers each question seriously, never condescending, treating her curiosity with respect. And Iris, watching them, feels something in her chest expand until it's almost painful. This is what she didn't know she was missing. Not just someone to love her, but someone to love her life. Her daughter, her complicated history, all of it. When they pull up to the castle, Cassidy's mouth drops open. Whoa! Wait until you see the inside, Iris says. The next hour passes in a blur of introductions. Cassidy meets Mrs. Patterson, the elderly housekeeper who immediately takes her under her wing. She meets Nocturne, who tolerates exactly 30 seconds of petting before stalking off with wounded dignity. She explores the library, the conservatory, the great hall with its vaulted ceiling. By 7 o'clock, she's exhausted. Iris tucks her into one of the guest rooms, a beautiful space with a 4-poster bed and a window overlooking the forest. Mom? Cassidy's voice is sleepy. Is this where we live now? Would you like that? Yeah, it's way better than Dad's apartment, and Thorn seems nice. For a vampire. Iris kisses her forehead. Get some rest, baby. We'll figure everything out tomorrow. She finds Thorn in his study, staring out the window at the darkening sky. He doesn't turn when she enters. Thank you, she says quietly. For what? For handling Marcus the right way. For using the law instead of... She gestures vaguely. Vampire powers or whatever. Now he does turn, and his expression is unreadable. You thought I'd kill him. No, maybe. I don't know. I don't really know what vampires do in situations like this. We adapt. We survive. And when we love someone, we protect them. But protection doesn't always mean violence, Iris. Sometimes it means patience, strategy, using the tools available to ensure the threat is neutralized permanently and legally. He crosses to her, gathers her into his arms. I want you safe. I want Cassidy safe. And I want you to never have to look over your shoulder again, wondering if Marcus will appear. The only way to accomplish that was to let the justice system do its job. How long have you been planning this? Since the night you told me about him, about what he did to you. Thorn's voice drops to something dangerous. I hired investigators, documented everything, built an airtight case. And then I waited. Let him make his threats, gather more evidence. I knew he'd escalate eventually. Men like him always do. You used me as bait. I kept you under constant protection. You were never in actual danger. Iris pulls back to look at him. Why didn't you tell me? Because you would have tried to handle it yourself. You would have confronted him, tried to reason with him. Put yourself directly in his path. Thorn cups her face, thumbs stroking her cheekbones. You've been fighting alone for so long, you've forgotten how to let someone help. I needed you to trust that I would keep you safe, even if you didn't know the specifics of how. She should probably be angry. Instead, she feels only relief. Bone-deep, overwhelming relief. He knows, she whispers, about you being a vampire. He was going to go public. Let him try. Thorne's smile is sharp. By the time his case goes to trial, he'll be so thoroughly discredited that anything he says about vampires will sound like the ravings of a desperate criminal. Besides, I've been hiding in plain sight for nearly 4 centuries. A few wild accusations from an abusive ex-husband aren't going to change that. Iris leans into him, breathing in the scent of cedar and something uniquely Thorne. I'm not used to this, she admits, having someone take care of things, take care of me. Get used to it. He kisses the top of her head. Because I'm not going anywhere, and neither are you. They stand like that for a long moment, wrapped in each other as darkness settles over the castle. Your daughter thinks I'm nice, Thorne says eventually, amusement coloring his voice. For a vampire? High praise from an 11-year-old. I suppose I'll take what I can get. He pulls back, studying her face. Are you all right? Really? I think so. It's a lot to process. Marcus arrested, Cassidy here, everything changing so fast. Change can be good. I know. It's just, she struggles for words. For so long, I was just surviving. Working double shifts, fighting with Marcus over custody, trying to keep my head above water. I got used to things being hard, to struggling. Now everything feels almost too easy, and I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop. What if it doesn't? Thorne's gaze is steady, certain. What if this is simply your life now? Safe, stable, loved. Then I'm the luckiest woman alive. No, he kisses her softly. I'm the lucky one. I've walked this earth for centuries, Iris. Seen empires rise and fall. Watched humanity stumble through darkness and occasionally find light. And in all that time, I never expected to find someone like you. Someone who looks at me and sees not a monster, but simply a man. Someone who fights for what she loves with everything she has. Someone brave enough to start over, even when it terrifies her. Tears prick her eyes. I'm not brave. You're the bravest person I know. He brushes away a tear with his thumb. You left an abusive marriage with nothing but a daughter to protect. You rebuilt your life from scratch. You took a chance on a vampire living in a castle, even though every rational instinct probably screamed at you to run. That's not just brave, Iris. That's extraordinary. You make it sound so heroic. I was just trying to survive. That's what heroism is. Surviving when everything tells you to give up. Fighting when it would be easier to quit. Choosing hope when despair seems like the only logical option. She kisses him then, pouring everything she can't say into the gesture. Thank you. I love you. Don't let me go. He responds in kind, deepening the kiss until her head spins and her knees go weak. When they finally break apart, both slightly breathless, Thorne rests his forehead against hers. Stay, he whispers. You and Cassidy. Not as guests, but as family. Make this castle your home. Let me love you properly, completely, for however long you'll have me. That's a very long time. You're immortal. Then I suppose you'll have to put up with me for a while. His smile is soft, vulnerable in a way she rarely sees. What do you say, Iris Caldwell? Will you take a chance on forever with a vampire? She thinks about her daughter, sleeping safely in a castle bedroom. About Marcus, finally facing consequences. About the diner job she loves, but the financial stress that came with it. About this impossible, beautiful man who orchestrated her ex-husband's downfall, not through violence, but through patience and law. About waking up in silk sheets every morning. About never worrying over bills again. About being protected, cherished, seen. Yes, she says simply. Yes to all of it. Thorne's expression transforms, joy breaking across his features like sunrise. He lifts her off her feet, spinning her once before setting her down and kissing her breathless. There is one condition, Iris says when she can speak again. Anything. I want to keep working at the diner, at least part-time. I need something that's mine, you know, something I built. Of course, I would never ask you to give up something that matters to you. He pauses. Though I may buy the building and give Sylvie a raise, the woman deserves hazard pay for dealing with your early morning shifts. Iris laughs. You're ridiculous. I prefer generous. He takes her hand, lacing their fingers together. Come. I want to show you something. He leads her through the castle's winding corridors, down stone steps that spiral into darkness. They pass through halls she's never seen before, ancient and beautiful. Finally, they reach a heavy wooden door bound in iron. Thorn produces an old-fashioned key. I've never shown this to anyone, he says quietly, but I want you to see. The door opens to reveal a small chapel. No, not a chapel, a sanctuary. The walls are carved with intricate designs, creatures from myth and legend dancing in eternal stone. Candles flicker in wall sconces, casting wavering shadows. And in the center of the room sits a fountain, water flowing clear and bright. It's beautiful, Iris breathes. This is where my family conducted our most sacred rituals, where we made our most important oaths. Thorn draws her to the fountain's edge. I want to make you an oath, Iris. Here, in this place, with only the old magic as witness. He kneels before her, this ancient, powerful being kneeling at her feet like a knight before his queen. I swear to protect you and yours with everything I am, to cherish you in joy and comfort you in sorrow, to stand beside you through whatever trials may come, to love you not just for this lifetime, but for all the lifetimes I have remaining. His voice rings clear and strong in the sacred space. I bind myself to you freely, completely, eternally, if you'll have me. Iris's vision blurs with tears. She's never been particularly religious, never put much stock in magic or ritual, but standing here in this ancient place, watching Thorn pledge himself to her with such absolute certainty, it feels real in a way nothing else ever has. I'll have you, she whispers, for all my lifetime, and whatever comes after. He rises, and she sees silver gleaming in his own eyes. Then it's done. You're mine, and I'm yours. The magic recognizes it now. Nothing can break this bond except death. And you're immortal. Which means, he grins suddenly, that boyish expression she's coming to love. You're rather stuck with me. I can think of worse fates. They kiss in the candlelight, sealing vows older than countries, and Iris, for the first time in her life, feels completely, utterly safe. 3 months later, Iris stands in front of Luna's diner, watching as workers install a new awning. Bright blue and white striped, cheerful as sunshine. The old neon sign has been replaced with something modern and efficient. Inside, the booths have new upholstery. The espresso machine actually works. Sylvie hired 2 additional servers, easing the perpetual understaffing crisis. It looks good, Thorn says from beside her. You didn't have to buy the whole building. I know, but the previous landlord was raising the rent every 6 months, and Sylvie was considering closing. This way, she can focus on running her business instead of worrying about lease negotiations. Iris leans into him. It's early evening, that golden hour when humans still walk the streets, but darkness is beginning to creep in at the edges. Thorn wears sunglasses and a wide-brimmed hat, protecting his sensitive skin. To any passerby, they look like a normal couple, enjoying the autumn weather. Mom! Cassidy bursts out of the diner grinning. Sylvie let me make a milkshake, all by myself. That's great, honey. Did you make a mess? Only a little bit. She holds up sticky hands as evidence. Can we go to the bookstore before we go home? Please? Home. Iris still gets a little thrill every time Cassidy says it so casually. Home is a castle on a mountain. Home is 4 towers and a grumpy elderly cat. Home is a vampire who reads her poetry in the middle of the night and makes sure her daughter's math homework gets done. Go wash your hands first, Iris says. Then yes, we can go to the bookstore. Cassidy darts back inside. Thorn's phone buzzes. He glances at it, expression darkening. Excuse me a moment. He steps away, speaking quietly into the phone. Iris watches him, noting the tension in his shoulders. Something's wrong. When he returns, his face is carefully neutral. That was Detective Chen. Marcus made bail. Iris's blood runs cold. What? How? His mother posted it. Apparently, she believes her son's sob story about being framed by a vindictive ex-wife. Thorne's voice is flat, emotionless. He's out pending trial. But the evidence is still solid. He'll be convicted. But in the meantime, Thorne takes her hands. I need you to be careful. Don't go anywhere alone. Keep Cassidy close. If he approaches you, call me immediately. You think he'll try something? I think he's desperate and stupid, which is a dangerous combination. Thorne's eyes flash silver behind the sunglasses. But I also think he's a coward. He won't risk confrontation with me directly. Still, I'd rather be cautious. They drive home in tense silence. Cassidy chattering about her new book from the back seat, oblivious to the worry radiating from both adults. That night, Iris lies awake long after Thorne falls into his daytime rest. Vampires don't truly sleep. They enter a kind of suspended animation, vulnerable and still. She watches him in the darkness, tracing the lines of his face, and tries not to imagine all the ways Marcus could hurt them. The next morning, afternoon by human standards, she takes Cassidy into town for a school shopping trip. Cassidy's enrolled now at the local middle school, finally stable and settled. She's made friends, joined the drama club, seems genuinely happy. They're leaving the department store, bags in hand, when Iris sees him. Marcus stands across the street just watching. He's lost weight, looks haggard. When their eyes meet, he smiles, the same charming smile that once convinced her to marry him, before she learned what it hid. Mom? Cassidy's voice is small. That's Dad. I know, baby. Stay close to me. Iris pulls out her phone, but before she can dial, Marcus is crossing the street toward them. Iris, Cassidy, wait up! We have nothing to say to you, Iris says loudly. People are starting to stare. I just want to talk. 5 minutes, please. He holds up his hands, all innocent concern. I'm not going to cause trouble. I just want to see my daughter. No. Iris positions herself between Cassidy and Marcus. You violated the restraining order just by being here. I'm calling the police. Jesus, Iris, I'm her father. You can't just cut me out of her life because your boyfriend doesn't like me. You tried to extort us. You made threats. I was desperate. You took everything, my wife, my kid, my future, and gave it to some rich freak who only comes out at night. Marcus's voice rises, drawing more attention. What kind of mother chooses a monster over her own family? Cassidy starts crying. Something snaps in Iris. All the fear, all the worry, all the years of walking on eggshells around this man. It crystallizes into pure fury. You want to know what kind of mother I am? Her voice rings clear across the street. I'm the kind who leaves when her husband puts hands on her. I'm the kind who works 3 jobs to keep a roof over her daughter's head. I'm the kind who finds a good man, a truly good man, who treats us both with respect and kindness, and builds a new life. That's what kind of mother I am, Marcus. The kind who chooses happiness over misery. The kind who doesn't let a gambling addict dictate her future. Marcus's face twists. That's real nice, Iris. Real nice. You think you're safe up in that castle? You think your vampire boyfriend can protect you from everything? Actually, a cool voice says from behind them, I think I can. Thorne materializes out of the afternoon shadows, seemingly from nowhere. He's dressed impeccably as always, but there's something dangerous in the way he moves, the way he positions himself between Marcus and Iris. You, Marcus spits. This is all your fault. On the contrary, this is entirely your fault. You chose to threaten an innocent woman. You chose to attempt extortion. You chose to violate a restraining order. Thorne's voice is pleasant, conversational, which somehow makes it more terrifying. You chose, at every opportunity, to be the worst version of yourself, and now you're facing consequences. How refreshing. I'm her father. You're a criminal who shares DNA with a remarkable young woman. That doesn't make you a father. Fathers protect. Fathers sacrifice. Fathers choose their children's welfare over their own petty grievances. Thorne's eyes flash. You're none of those things. Marcus lunges forward. It's clumsy, graceless, the move of a desperate man. Thorne doesn't even look like he's trying as he sidesteps, lets Marcus's momentum carry him past, plants a hand on his back and guides him face first into the pavement. In seconds, Thorne has Marcus pinned, one knee on his back, arms twisted behind him at an angle that looks painful. Here's what's going to happen, Thorne says calmly, as if he's discussing the weather. The police are on their way. You're going back to jail, and this time, no bail. You'll serve your sentence, and when you get out, you'll discover that attempting to intimidate people in broad daylight has consequences. Witnesses, security cameras. He gestures to the store behind them, all documenting your violation of a restraining order and attempted assault. Marcus struggles, cursing. Thorne increases pressure slightly, and the cursing turns to pained gasps. Additionally, Thorne continues, you'll find that Dmitry Volkov has been informed that you attempted to flee town without paying your debts. I took the liberty of sharing your location. He's most displeased. I imagine you'll have an interesting few years ahead of you. You can't, I already did, consider it a parting gift. Thorne looks up as police cars screech to a halt, sirens wailing. Ah, Detective Chen, perfect timing. The next 30 minutes pass in a blur of questions, statements, and paperwork. Marcus is handcuffed and dragged away, still shouting threats that nobody takes seriously. Detective Chen takes Iris's statement, then Cassidy's. This seals it, Chen says finally. With the restraining order violation and attempted assault, he's done. Judge will remand him without bail this time. You won't have to worry about him anymore. When they're finally alone, or as alone as you can be on a busy street, Cassidy launches herself at Thorne. You saved us! She hugs him fiercely. You were like an action hero. Thorne looks startled, then touched. He hugs her back carefully. I merely ensured your father couldn't hurt anyone. Your mother did the hard part, standing up to him. You both did, Iris says quietly. She's shaking now, adrenaline crash hitting hard. Thank you, both of you. They go home, their castle, their sanctuary. Mrs. Patterson has hot chocolate waiting, seems to have a sixth sense for when it's needed. Cassidy falls asleep on the library couch, worn out from stress and drama. Iris finds Thorne on the balcony, staring out at the forest. You knew he'd show up, she says. I suspected. Men like him can't help themselves. They always need the last word, the final confrontation. So I followed you into town, stayed close but out of sight. Just in case. Always protecting me. Always. He turns to face her. Did I overstep? Involving Volkov, I mean. That might have been. It was perfect. Iris kisses him. He needs to understand that actions have consequences. That he can't just terrorize people and expect to walk away. He won't walk away from Volkov's men. They're rather insistent about debt collection. Good. She says it fiercely, surprising herself. I'm tired of being scared. Tired of looking over my shoulder. He made choices. Now he lives with them. Thorne studies her for a long moment. You're different than when we met. Stronger. I was always strong. I just forgot for a while. She leans into him. You helped me remember. They stand together as darkness settles over the castle grounds. Somewhere in the forest, an owl calls. The wind carries the scent of pine and coming winter. What happens now? Iris asks. Now? Thorne smiles. Now we live. We raise Cassidy. We run the diner. We navigate immortality and mortality together. We figure out what forever looks like. One day at a time. Sounds perfect. It does, doesn't it? 1 year later, Iris stands in the castle's great hall, adjusting Cassidy's dress. It's not quite a wedding. Vampires don't do traditional marriages, but it's a formal bonding ceremony, witnessed by Thorne's extended family and what few friends Iris has accumulated. You look beautiful, honey, she says. So do you, Mom. Cassidy grins. She's 12 now, taller, more confident. The therapy helped, and so did stability. She hugs Iris. I'm glad you found him. Me too. The ceremony is brief, beautiful. Thorn pledges himself to her again, this time publicly. Iris does the same, her voice steady. When they kiss, his family applauds. A mix of vampires and humans, centuries of tradition meeting modern love. The celebration afterward is loud, joyful. Someone produces a sound system. Music fills the ancient hall. Cassidy dances with cousins she just met. Mrs. Patterson wipes happy tears. Even Nocturne tolerates the chaos, though he retreats to a high shelf after 30 minutes of attention. Late into the night, Iris and Thorn slip away to their balcony. The stars are brilliant, frost already touching the ground despite it being only October. So, Thorn says, how does it feel to be officially bonded to a vampire? Ask me in 100 years. I will. He pulls her close. I'll ask you every 100 years, for as long as you're with me. That's a long time. Not long enough. He kisses her forehead. Not nearly long enough. Inside, someone calls for them. More toasts to make, more dancing to do. But for this moment, they stay on the balcony, wrapped in each other in starlight. Iris thinks about Marcus, serving his sentence in a prison 3 states away. About the diner, thriving under Sylvie's management. About Cassidy, happy and healing. About this impossible life she's found. Castle and vampire, and forever. I love you, she says. I love you too. Always have. Always will. They rejoin the party hand in hand, ready for whatever comes next. And if Iris catches Thorn watching her with wonder in his ancient eyes, like he can't quite believe she's real, well, she knows the feeling. Some stories end with happily ever after. This one ends with happily ever ongoing, and really, that's even better.